Hey guys, the new Path of Exile update is coming out, so I wanted to share with you some ideas for builds to get you started on your planning. And I have 3 builds here to show, and I'll go through them all relatively quickly. This first one is a power charge stacking build. It is a scavenger ascendancy, taking this void battery node here. We also have 2 void batteries of our own. And in the configuration I've added this forbidden power because, as I'll put up on screen here, we have access to tattoos that can give us ascendancies. And GGG did say that the multiple choice ascendancies, so like these ones, you're not able to put a tattoo on them, but the scavenger will have a new ascendancy node added. I'm not sure where that'll be on here, so this may change a little bit when I get that update. But somewhere on here they're going to add a new node that is not a multiple choice node so that you can tattoo it with anything you want. So we're taking this +1 power charge and spell damage per power charge. This build is using Power Siphon, but you could use an actual spell skill, or you could use a different wand attack. I'm just using this as an example. We are also using an Elegant Hubris Jewel over here, which gives us energy shield per power charge and damage per power charge. Also damage per frenzy charge. We're actually using all of the charge types because we want the resonating shine buff. In the previous Path of Exile League, this belt with the resonating shrine was actually pretty cheap. So I think that'll hold true in this league as well, but certainly not as soon as the league starts. So you can easily league start as a wander and pick up this belt here later on. We also have 2 precursor emblem rings, so giving us lightning damage per power charge, energy shield. This is like going to be expensive, I assume, but you can get other modifiers per power charge, and really the maximum and the added lightning damage is the important thing. Then there's the Ephemeral Bond Amulet, which is also giving us lightning damage per power charge. The power charge duration goes down by 90%, but that doesn't really matter because we are getting power charges like constantly. We gain them after spending a certain amount of mana, and our mana cost per second is over 200, which is the amount that we need to gain a power charge. So every second we're generating a power charge. We're also getting power charges on critical hit. We have power charge on critical here too. In other words, running out of power charges is not an issue. This build is pretty tanky. Plenty of energy shield, chaos inoculation. Items we're taking physical damage taken as chaos on the helmet and on the body armor. And again, these are all really well rolled pieces of gear, but this is kind of giving you a trajectory to point yourself towards. Alright, let's look at the next one. This one is probably the weirdest one, maybe the least consistent. I have a video that I previously uploaded where I was playing as the Daughter of Ashabi in the previous Phrecia League. It gets shrine buffs every 8 seconds, and we have increased effective shrines on all these small nodes here. And there is the Templar Ascendancy Harmony of Purpose, which gives you random shrine buff every 10 seconds, which is basically the same thing as this, just a little bit worse. What this does, getting 2 shrine buffs every 8 or 10 seconds with increased duration of shrine buffs, by the way, from Blunderbore. What this does is allow us to get basically every shrine in the game because the buffs are lasting. Let's see if I can calculate that out. The standard is 20 seconds, and then we have 50% increased, so 30 seconds. And then we have buffs expire 30% slower. That's a weird calculation to do. I'm not sure. So it's 30 seconds, and then it expires 30% slower than 30 seconds. So I'm not really sure what that number is, but you can do the math at all. Basically, the shrine buffs last a long time. We get a lot of them. When you have this belt, again, I'm using this belt, the random shrine buff can give you the greater shrine buffs, even though you already have it permanently from this belt. So that is kind of sad, but you probably will, if you can find ways to increase the duration even more, like getting a corrupted version of this, with increased duration. And I think there's other ways, like lowering the cooldown of these things. These aren't considered skills, so cooldown recovery rate doesn't work. but global cooldown recovery rate might work. I'm not totally sure about that. I don't have anything built like that into this build, but this build is just gaining a lot of damage of all the different elements, and we're using an Elegant Hubris here, giving us power charge and evasion because, hey, again, we have, if not from the belt, we'll get it from the random shrine buff, which is the resonating shrine. So gives us +3 to the max power charges and frenzy and endurance, and it causes us to gain those passively. Very cool. So we're just grabbing all the charges we can get. We have a ton of Sacred Wisps, so +2 maximum Sacred Wisps. And then this one, which is a Uber Maven drop, so it'll probably be somewhat expensive, although it is not very well desired. So I don't think that it'll stay very expensive. As with the last build, you could use just a regular wand until you could afford this. But this is giving you another Sacred Wisp, so we have 5 wisps, which is pretty crazy. The screen will be completely covered in projectiles. Pretty cool. The goal is cheap. You can find that anywhere. Bundle boar is not too expensive, but a well-rolled one is pretty expensive. And if we can get the Diamond Shrine, which is one of the more common rolls you can get, let me pop. Okay, so this is the distribution of the weight, right? So Resistance Shrine is highly weighted. Impenetrable is highly weighted, and these are 2 really good ones for us. We have armor, evasion, and energy shield, and life, so we have like every defensive layer possible. You're very likely to get the resistance in this. Then the Diamond Shrine is just below that. So we can actually make use of this amulet. Lowers your crit chance, but gives you a ton of crit strike multi. But because Diamond Shrine is going to be there infrequently, our effective crit chance is going to be very high. If you can hold on to the Diamond Shrine, you have 100% chance to crit guaranteed. This mod that reduces it doesn't matter. And Culling Strike on that too, which is very nice. Alright, let's look at the last one. This one is definitely uber endgame because it is an attribute stacker. It is Whisperer, so stacking dexterity gives you mana, stacking mana gives you added lightning damage, and then there's Fractal Thoughts, which is basically the same thing. Well, similar idea. Increased elemental damage per dexterity, and percent dexterity, and crit multi, which is great. Poised Prism, giving us added cold damage per dexterity, and Iron Commander. Number of summoned totems increases based on your dexterity. We currently have a totem limit of 16, and you get 5% more damage per totem summoned and 9% attack speed per totem summoned. There's other builds like this. We're using the Ritual of Awakening, that is the Hierophant Ascendancy. There's versions of this on the Hierophant out there. This is a similar thing, except stacking our decks has an additional benefit. So not just giving us more totems, but also giving us added lightning damage and mana, which we can use as a hit pool, because we have 100% of physical damage being taken from Mana Before Life. And then we get to make use of this node here too, projectile damage per dexterity, really great. And we're grabbing all these different totem nodes, basically just doing a long path all the way over here to a split personality with dex and mana. I think that a split personality with both dex and mana is going to be pretty expensive because the Whisperer is a pretty popular ascendancy, so be mindful of that. There's going to be a lot of people running Whisperer with Kinetic Blast of Clustering, which, hey, I also made a video on that last Phrecia League, so go check that out if you want to see that interaction. Basically, Kinetic Blast of Clustering does more physical damage the more mana you have, but we are using Iron Commander here, so that is basically everything. I'm going to post all 3 of these pobs in the description of the video, and you can pick through them. Maybe you won't use the exact build, but maybe this will inspire you in the upcoming Phrecia League. It's come upon us very quickly, and there's a little bit of information that we're lacking, so I'm kind of doing the best I can with what I've got. But to be clear, these aren't necessarily league starters. These pobs are not league starters. However, you can most certainly play a Wander on a Scavenger, which technically you have to re-roll to do that, but only after a few acts, so just a couple hours of time taken away there. But you can play a Wander. Like, Wanders are just good no matter what. You don't need to have crazy numbers of power charges and like really good Elegant Hubris jewels, although there's different options. You can get different, lots of different Elegant Hubris jewels. You just need to get that power charge damage there. The Shrine Stacker, I think you can league start this. I played a Shrine Stacking build very early into the last league, and it was working really well. But we have no idea how expensive or how common these Ascendancy notable tattoos are going to be. So hard to say, like, what's going to be expensive, you know? Like the Forbidden Flesh and Flame jewels, these ones, that give you like the Ascendancy passives. These ones, the ones that can give you like the Templar stuff, like this node, Conviction of Power, are crazy expensive in every league. But will the tattoo that gives you a random Hierophant one be expensive? Because you can roll this. It's random, but you could just keep hitting it till you roll this. So does that mean the Hierophant's gonna be like super expensive? Or what about, you know, the obvious, this Juggernaut one? You know? I don't know what's gonna be expensive, what's not. But for the Power Charge Stacker, we are taking this right here, maximum power charges. But since you can use Forbidden Flesh and Flame, you may want to take this one, which gives maximum power charges, and then use the Forbidden Flesh and Flame jewel to get this one, because I think Forbidden Flesh and Flame will be cheaper for this than they will for this, but that remains to be seen. It's kind of all up in the air. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have fun in the upcoming league. Good luck, make lots of divines, and I'll see you later.